I was watching an interview earlier with Joe Button and Russ. Russ is a Russ is a very interesting artist. But before I actually ever heard of his songs, the reason why actually check out his catalog, was because of his mindset, the way he talk and all this stuff. And one of the things that he mentioned was with the state of hip hop, and he was saying about how the way we view hip hop nowadays with the lean and the mumble rap and all this shit, a lot of that have to do with the digital real estate, which means that you are able to create a following and whatnot, and then to direct the conversation, and then so you kind of form, I guess, your own neighborhood, your own digital real estate farm or something, right? So now this takes me back to, at some point I was having a conversation with one of my boys, and I was telling him that I was gonna be in a podcast and all that stuff, and then he said that, well, you know what, well, what are you gonna say, to make it interesting, to bring people in, and all this shit. I'm like, well, we basically gonna talk about, it's gonna be like an intellectual conversation, right? Things that people can draw from, can learn something from, and whatnot. And he was like, yeah, well, and that gonna be boring? It's like, you know, doesn't, like, don't you want to have people watch your shit? Then you gotta make it interesting. You gotta make it entertaining. So I'm like, yeah, but I don't want everybody to be drawn to my shit. I don't want to invite the wrong type of crowd to my conversation. So if, I'd rather have 10 people watch my video, but they can actually draw something from the conversation, or actually, you know, that change their perspective, or their thinking get developed somehow based on my perspective, versus doing some clownery and some foolery, and then I get like 1,000 views, you know? And which, now, it kind of got me thinking, is like, what sort of neighborhood, what sort of digital neighborhood do you belong to? Do you live in? Do you live, is your digital real estate is made of, in what location is your digital real estate? Is it based on the YouTube street where a lot of knucklehead lives at? A lot of people that feel sorry for themselves, a lot of people that just want to constantly use their victim cards, that only want to bitch and bitch and bitch and complain, and not having to do anything to elevate themselves from their situation? Or is your real estate, is your digital real estate located where people are searching for solutions, people are elevating themselves, people are sharing information to which that can actually improve your life? So next time you go to a certain part of YouTube, and then you feel frustrated because you feel like you're not being heard, you feel like your message is falling on a deaf ear, maybe you are in the wrong neighborhood. Maybe you're supposed to just be passing by those neighborhood, the neighborhood of failure, the neighborhood of woe is me, the neighborhood of I'm a victim, the neighborhood of niggas and shit, the neighborhood of bitches and shit. Maybe you're supposed to just passing through. You're not supposed to stay there. You're not supposed to camp out. You're not supposed to make this your home. Or maybe that's exactly where you belong. Maybe this is the place where you're gonna probably feel the most comfortable in, and therefore maybe that's your crowd. Maybe the woe is me, maybe woe I'm a victim is your crowd, and there's a certain comfort in being a force of complaining. There's a certain comfort when you know that your neighbor ain't doing shit about his life, because you yourself ain't doing shit about your life. But the moment you actually decide to do something about your situation, then perhaps it's time for you to move to a different YouTube neighborhood. Maybe it's time for you to actually search out others that you can actually draw from, that you can be inspired by. Those who actually show you different perspectives to show you that you don't have to be a victim. There are things that you could do in your life that can give you different results. Then you don't have to be part of that blame culture. You don't have to be part of the losers club. You know, I'm all for helping those who want to help themselves. I'm all for that. However, I have a limited amount of energy to be spent. My energy output is very finite. So therefore, I want to get the best result out of my effort. So that's why in my channel, I don't want to draw all type of people. I don't want to bring a whole bunch of people that are just knuckleheads. I mean, sure, they can come through, they can pass by the same way that, a person that is very ghetto can pass by a suburb neighborhood, but you might draw attention to yourself. So which means that you cannot come to my neighborhood and then start wilding out, talking about like, try to tell me how to run my neighborhood, to tell me how to run my digital space. Because this is my real estate right here. Just like if I go to your neighborhood, I know for a fact that I would be looked upon as the lame, the coon, or the sellout, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I might be looked upon as that. But I'm not going to change your mind because this is how things are run in your neighborhood. I'm just passing by. I'm going to just visit your neighborhood, your digital neighborhood, to be entertained, to listen to let's see what these motherfuckers are complaining about. And no, that has nothing to do with color, because there are a lot of, when I go to some of these feminist platform or social justice warrior platform, I have the same attitude. I just go through and say, what the fuck these white folks are complaining about now. When I come across some of these, these alphabet people, like, what the fuck are they complaining about now? It doesn't matter. Like, people that are on some bullshit, like, there's nothing, has nothing to do with color. The world will never be in short supply when it comes to idiots. So therefore, you can choose to just pass by those neighborhood, and then, but where you rest, the type of conversation you have in your neighborhood is totally different. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this whole digital real estate. I thought it was a very interesting concept. And so yeah, share, like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.